I'm Freaky Jersey Tales, back with another Freaky Jersey Tale. Today is Sunday, March 27th. So that just means it's another day, another dollar we don't spend on these three old fizzos. When I tell stories on my channel, you guys probably think that every single one of my Freaky Jersey stories are crazy. Even though I have more crazy ones, I actually have a lot of stories that weren't crazy. I never talk about the chill stories too much. I guess because it's not worth making a video about. But today I'll talk about a cool little situation from back in the day you guys might find interesting. So when I was in high school, I had a crush on a few different girls. And I had a huge crush on a girl in my performing arts class. Personally, I'm physically attracted to girls from all different skin tones, backgrounds, and hair textures. So the girl I had a huge crush on was a slim white chick with long hair and glasses. She's very feminine, and in my eyes, she's sexy as hell. She was always super quiet and she never really talked to anyone. There were a couple times I tried to say what's up, but she seemed like she didn't want to be bothered. I'm not a very aggressive guy, so if a girl looked like she's not interested, I fall back. There were other times guys in the class tried to hit on her, and she would give them mean looks to kind of brush them off. So I figured if those guys were getting rejected, then I have no chance with her either. Now this is back when I was searching for female validation, so I used to stare at girls a lot to see if they might be checking me out or to see if we were making eye contact, but nope, she never paid me any mind. And back in high school, a lot of people were roasting crack jokes. So if someone roasted me, I usually roast them back to defend myself. So you could say I was somewhat of a class clown in high school. You can say I was more of a modest class clown, if that makes any sense. Sometimes I could be real loud and sometimes I could be real quiet depending on certain situations. I'm the type of guy that could turn up and entertain most people if I choose to. And I noticed the only time my crush would look at me is when I clowned around with some of the other classmates. That's when she had a big smile on her face. So of course, seeing that gave me a crazy dopamine rush, like, oh my God, she's looking at me, she's so sexy. And I know this might be too much information, but I like this girl so much that I would even go home and whack off to this chick. I grabbed the closest lubricant I could find, closed my eyes, and I would imagine I was penetrating her so I could get a couple of squirts off. But I pretty much went the entire year without saying anything else to her. Then towards the very end of our senior year before graduation, she opened up a little more and we started to say hi to each other when we crossed paths. I don't know if teens still do it now, but back then we used to sign each other's yearbooks and write little positive messages in the book. So I had a bunch of people sign my yearbook. I guess you could say I was somewhat popular in my high school, so I think I had, I don't know, like 70, 100... maybe like 70, 100 signatures in my yearbook, if I remember correctly. Anyways, I had my crush sign my yearbook, and I went ahead and I signed hers too. After I wrote my little positive message, I also put my number in her yearbook. Did I ever think she would contact me? Hell nah, but I figured I'd give it a shot. So, go ahead, graduate, everyone moves on with their lives. Shortly after our graduation, I just so happened to get a text message from my high school crush. So of course I was hella surprised. And here's where my memory gets a little fuzzy. I don't remember exactly what happened, but something happened to where I think she said something flirty towards me through text message, and I either say something flirty back, or I think I went to shoot my shot or something. And afterwards, that's when she told me she secretly had a crush on me in high school. What? What? You had a crush on me? I said, no. I had a huge crush on you. She's like, really? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I always thought you were sexy as fuck. That's what I told her. Yo, I couldn't believe it. So she says, so why didn't you ever come holler at me and ask me out? I said, because you look like you didn't want to be bothered and you never really paid attention to me. She said because she's really shy And if I would have approached her, then she would have gave me her number ASAP. And she said that she always thought I was so funny and how I would like make her laugh and all this stuff, you know? So basically we find out that we're sexually attracted to each other. So we plan to meet up. And at the time, she just got a new apartment with her best friend that also went to her school. So my crush tells me that if we get it on, I have to promise that I don't tell anybody because she doesn't want anybody to think that she's that kind of girl. And she doesn't want people from high school to find out because she's very private. So I told her, hey, I promise, you got my word. So one day her best friend leaves the apartment to go to work. So my crush sends me the address, and I only lived about 15 minutes or less from this apartment complex. So I went over there ready to rock and roll. She lived in one of those apartment complexes, y'all know, that has like security out in the front with one of those gates that rises up so you can get in and out. It's funny because back then I looked a hot mess. I used to wear those new era fitted hats with a do-rag underneath the hat. So I think I showed up in some basketball shorts, basketball shoes, a white beater, do-rag, backwards fitted cap. So you already know when a black dude has attire like that, he's either going to go to the corner store, about to chill with some homies, play basketball, get into a fight, get into a shootout, or he's about to get into some vaginal guts. It just so happened that day, I was going over there to get in some vaginal guts, you feel me? So I went up the steps, knocked on the door. She opened up the door, let me in. So I sat on the couch and she poured me some juice, offered me some homemade food, all that good stuff. And it was awkward because I don't even know anything about this girl. I don't know her hobbies, her interests, or nothing. It felt like I was in a porno movie or something. You know, like one of those scenes when a plumber comes in.
Yeah, so I heard you have some leaky pipes. Let's get that fixed up for you.
You know what I'm saying? So check this out. She's sitting on the couch right next to me. She's mad quiet. So I asked, how you been? How's everything going?
I'm fine.
Okay. So how's work going? Is work okay?
Yeah.
So we talked for about 2 minutes. Then I decided to speed this thing up. I said, hey, you should give me a tour of your apartment. Show me where everything is at. So we both stand up. And the first thing she showed me was the bathroom. Then she points to her room. And as she was about to walk towards her best friend's room across the hall, I pushed her right into the room. And I pushed her right onto the bed. And she's like,
Damn, for sure.
So we go ahead, start ripping each other's clothes off. She takes off her glasses. I put a rubber on and I go to dive in. But I noticed it was one problem. My thing couldn't fit inside of her. And before y'all tell me, yo, Freaky Jersey tells it's because she's not wet enough, dog. Incorrect. This chick was gushing like a motherfucking fire hydrant. The reason I couldn't get in is because she was so freaking tight. So I'm doing all I can to get inside. I'm trying to put it in at different angles, different speeds. I even brought it to the edge of the bed so I could gain some momentum from the ground to try to rush inside the cooch. It was getting so bad that I started getting erectile dysfunction because I already pre-ejaculated from being a little too excited. I don't know how long it took me to get inside, but that joint felt like 15 minutes or something. But yo, when I finally got inside, that shit felt magical. So we did our thing, and once we finished, she's hugging and kissing all over me. Shortly after I put on my clothes, I left because her roommate was coming back home. Once I left the apartment, I guess you could say I was kind of starstruck in a way because I've been secretly crushing on this girl for so long. So I kept smelling my fingers as I was walking to my car. I did wash my hands, but her mild cooch smell was still on my fingers. After our little rendezvous, this became a daily routine. We never discussed relationship, commitment topics, or anything. So whenever she wanted to get something cracking, she would hit me with a text that said a roommate is gone and she wants cock before she goes to work. I swing over there, pound her out, and bounce. You know, it's funny because there were times I was getting ready to go to work. Then she'll hit me with the come over text. Then I swing over there to get a quickie while still wearing my work uniform and name tag. I wouldn't have time to take off my clothes, so I would just bang her through the pee hole until we both got our rocks off. So it was the same thing every week. I get the text, go over, smash, dip. Go over, smash, dip. Text, go over, smash, dip. No whining and dining, no dinners, no dates, no nagging, no headaches, no gifts, just straight sex. All she wanted was the BBC. I was going to her apartment so much that I became cool with the security guard. The dude kind of looked like Carmelo Anthony, and every time he see me pull up, he's like, "Hey yo, what's up? What's poppin', homie? Nah, you ain't gotta check in. You go ahead, homie." You know? Yo, and here's another funny thing. Back then, this chick was working at McDonald's, and back in the day, they used to have something called the Southern Style Chicken Sandwich, and that was always my favorite sandwich. Do you know this chick was giving me free food whenever I wanted it? I tell her that I ain't want to accept it because I don't want to get her fired, but she told me it's all good because she's a manager, so she does whatever she wants. I said, all right. So whenever I was hungry, I sent her a text to say I was about to pull up. Let me get a Southern Style chicken sandwich with some fries. Then she would text back and say, oh, of course, anything for you. So I pull up to the drive-thru. Then she'll just hand me the bag and I'll take off. A lot of times when I asked for one or two things, she would give me like 10 random things on top of what I asked for. I couldn't eat all of it by myself, so sometimes I'd text some of the homies like, hey bro, I'm like 5 minutes away from your crib. You want some free food? They're like, hell yeah, I want some free food. One of the homies was like, oh wow, yo, how you be getting all this free food? I just say, it's a girl I'm messing with that give me the hookup. I remember some guys told me that I should take full advantage and get money out of her too. I'm like, nah, hell nah, for what? She's already giving me what I want plus so much more on top of that, you know? And it's funny because every once in a while, there are some people that get mad at me when I tell stories like this. Some people may say, how dare you sleep with her without paying for some dates? But aren't y'all the same ones that say I'm paying anyway because I'm using time? So if I'm paying with time, then why y'all getting mad if I'm not spending cash? Y'all say time and cash is the same thing, right? Hey, don't get mad at me because you can't do what I do. I know every man can't do it, but you know damn well you would do the same thing if you were in my position. It's not my fault if you can't do it. My wallet, my choice. It's funny how dudes get so butthurt about it when meanwhile men and women use time for everything. As a matter of fact, I used time to go to the bathroom this morning. And if I use my time, she used time too. Because when she climbed on top and started doing calisthenics on my cock for a while, you know what that took? That took time. When she rode me reverse cowgirl style, you know what that took? That took time. When she was sucking me off, I said, slow down, girl, take your time. I'm not saying that all time is equal, but I got greatly compensated for my time every time. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. So tell me, why you really mad? Why you really mad? Some guys are gonna say, oh, it's not fair. The only reason you could do that's because you're a 6'8" Chad that has a perfect jaw, right? Wrong. I'm just a regular looking guy. I gave her what she wanted. She gave me what I wanted, plus so much more. You know what that's called? That's what you call a motherfucking easy, fair transaction, baby. There's some dudes that say, oh, well, you gotta take her out on a date and spend like $100 on her anyway. Shit, speak for yourself, home skillet. Y'all going around town getting finessed on foodie calls because you want everybody to look at you as a real man. Nah, you can't have these girls in society not thinking you ain't a real man. Nah, that's gonna hurt your ego, isn't it, playboy?
Yeah, I was a real man, y'all. I always spends my hard-earned cash on these queens.
And then you see the same guys in the comment section of PUA videos like, hey, so I have a question. So I keep taking this girl on dates, but she's not coming back home with me. What am I doing wrong? Then you got the PA dudes tell you, you didn't hit the weight. You aren't being an alpha. You didn't maintain your frame. It's interesting because I'm not a PUA, but I get a lot of questions from many different guys about women. And if you approach me and ask why she's not sleeping with you, I'm gonna tell you like the homies in LA. Hey, she don't fuck with you like that, cut. On Hood. On Compton Crip, cut. She look at you as a straight custer, cut. Listen, trust me, if she wants to sleep with you, she's gonna make it real easy for you, homie. While Mr. Nice Guy gets a pat on the back while she's giving Bonquavius with the ashy elbows a full fluid flush. And he ain't even make an appointment. Homie just showed up in some FUBU jeans and some thong strap flip-flops. But let me guess, she told you she's not that kind of girl.
No, I don't believe that. She's different. She's not that kind of girl. She would never do that. Not all women are like that.
You just gotta choose the right one. Just gotta find the right one. Find a unicorn.
When you think about it, when you're out there giving them free food just for existing, and she gives you a pat on the head, a lot of these girls you're trying to impress probably wouldn't even go to your funeral. Think about that. All of these businesses and restaurants are making a killing in profits off of your biology. God dang. Yo, my bad, y'all. I went way off topic. But, So yeah, let's get back to my high school crush. So to make a long story short, this chick told me that there's a different black dude that asked her out. And she asked me if I think she should talk to him. So I told her, if he seems like a decent guy, then yeah, give it a shot. So she told me that we probably can't mess around anymore if she starts talking with him. So I told her, yeah, that's cool, do your thing. And I said, if things don't work out and you ever want to start this back up, then you know where to find me. It's interesting because later down the line, she actually got married to this guy. And years later, she'll contact me every once in a while to see how I'm doing. I tell her I'm doing all right, everything is good. And I tell her, I don't think your husband will be cool with you reaching out to me. She said that her husband actually knows about me, but he doesn't know about all the extracurricular things we've done. So that's pretty much it. That's the end of the story. It's very interesting how I was able to get down with the girl I was whacking off to. She was one of those type of girls you wanted to tell your boys that you smashed. Because a lot of them would have been surprised like, what? You hit that? No, you ain't hit that. No, I don't believe you. I made a promise and I'm a man of my word, so to this day I never told anyone we went to go to school with. To this day, she was one of the tightest girls I ever been with. Hands down, one of the tightest. Oh, man. Good times. Good times. But let me know what y'all think. Peace.